Lord Byron Nelson. Tips for you from the legends of golf as well as Gil Morgan. A visit from Bob Drum. It's all coming up on The Golf Show. Right now, let's get to that talented gentleman from Kansas City, Tom Watson. For a period of about 6 years, you were the dominant player in the world. And really, if anybody can dominate for 6 years at any time in his career, that's very special. You've got a lot of wonderful memories.
Well, I do have a lot of great memories that extended from 1971 all the way until now. And the last 8 or 10 years, it hasn't been too magical, but at the beginning there, I really didn't have a clue how I was going to do in the tour. I didn't know whether I was ever going to make a dime out here. All I did was just practice and work hard and let the chips fall where they may.
Everyone seems to think that you've kind of rededicated yourself, you're striking the ball better than ever, and that you will win again.
Well, I've been striking the ball well all year, and I made an adjustment in my swing, and it's working. It's like Ben Hogan said, you can make an adjustment in your swing, and it works if it works one time, that doesn't give you any clue how it's going to work the next time. If it works 2 times and 3 times and 4 times, then you know you have something. And that's finally I discovered something and went on. And I've been going on with just one swing thought for the first 3 months of the tour this year. Been playing well, been putting very poorly. I've been missing a lot of short putts, but again, I've been working hard on that, and I think I've got a clue what to do there too. So who knows? It might be Tom Watson's time in the next couple of weeks.
You have been working some with David Ledbetter.
David and I have talked, and I've discussed with him what I've been doing with my golf swing, and he likes what I've been doing with my golf swing. And he gave me a tip on the putting green right over there today, and it was something that I was working on from yesterday, something similar yesterday, and this is how it works. You're always trying to think, how can I make it better? And yesterday I came up with a clue, and David kind of reaffirmed that what I was doing, but he put it in terms that probably made a little bit more sense to me than what I was thinking about yesterday. And that's what a good teacher can do.
Tom, you went to Stanford. You're a very bright man. You're very family-oriented. After the children came, did your priorities change a little bit?
Yes, they did. But it was a decision that I made early on to be with my children as much as I could, and try to be a father. And I'm not saying that people who can't play the tour aren't. I don't say that people who play the tour 36 weeks a year aren't good fathers. I can't say that. No. But a lot of, one of the great things about the tour today versus what it was 20 years ago or even 10 years ago is that the child care services that each term provides for the families makes it possible for the players to take their family on the tour with them, and a young family especially. But when you get to school-age children, then it changes. I certainly have had a great wife in the sense that she's taking care of the family when I'm gone, and our children, I think, have turned out to be pretty good.
Tom, you're a Missourian, and you've stayed, you and the family, lived in Kansas City. Some people might have moved away, gone somewhere exotic where there are lots of palm trees or something like that, but you apparently have never had the end to do that.
I like home. I travel too much. I don't want to pick up and travel one more time and take my whole household to someplace else. Now, I enjoy Kansas City. We have the 4 seasons. I like the 4 seasons, and we have a wonderful school for our children to go to. Both sets of parents live there. We have quite a few friends from way back who live there and still remain in Kansas City. And it's many times, when we're out playing golf under pressure the way we do, it's great to go back to something some place you feel at home. It really is home, and Kansas City is that for me.
I know that, as I've said, Tom Watson relishes the family and his friends. You still like to hunt as much as you used to?
I love to bird hunt. Yes, I do. I love it. I tell you what I enjoy now. I enjoy shooting targets. I enjoy shooting targets for accuracy.
Skeet shooting?
No, targets, rifle targets, rifle, and that's been a near passion of mine for the last year, and it's really an enjoyable exercise, and it takes you away from the golf course, and yet there's a lot of skill and a lot of engineering that goes into shooting a very, very accurate group of shots at a target.
Ryder Cup play returned to England at Ganton in Scarborough in 1949, where U.S. non-playing captain Ben Hogan, still badly crippled from injuries suffered in an auto accident, complained that some of the British players had doctored the grooves on their clubs. There'll be more of our interview with Tom Watson later on. Coming up, Bob Drum, Byron Nelson, and the legends of golf.
To those import owners who said they would drive an American luxury car when they make one good enough, here's one that's much, much more than good enough. Test drive the 1991 Buick Park Avenue and see how good the great American beauty truly is. Park Avenue from Buick, the new symbol for quality in America and beyond.
I'm from a town where things are as good as they come, and it's pictured in my mind just as clear as the midday sun. Now I'm out here in the darkness, and the rain is coming down. Never was like this in my hometown. My hometown, it's not like this, but that's all right with me. See, I'm out here from my hometown, 'cause freedom isn't free.
Statistics show that 46% of all kids who smoke marijuana are inner city youth. Guess who the other 54% are? Call for a free parent's guide to drug prevention. 1-800-624-0100.
Brain, I'd like to speak to you. Yes, you, Brain. You see, Brain, you're just like the body. You need exercise so you don't get weak and flabby and slow. See, the games you need to play are thinking, reading, studying, and questioning. The more you train, Brain, the better you'll feel about yourself. You'll be able to talk about things. You'll be able to see things, recognize them. You'll know everything. People will ask you questions. You'll have an answer, and you'll feel...
I'm on a campaign to bring back the stymie. Not the kid from the Little Rascals, but this was part of this honorable and ancient sport. For you people under 50 years old, a stymie was when some SOB put his ball between your ball and the hole. He either had to chip it over or go around it. And if you hit it in the hole, it counted for him. So you had to be careful, but it was a great part of the game. There's a couple of good things and a couple of bad things that will happen if we bring back the stymie. Club pros could add that shot to their repertoire of teaching seminars along with putting and pitching and sand play. The stymie shot. It would give the club manufacturers a chance to make chippers, those putter-like clubs that used to be made for hitting over a ball and into the cup. All the publications could add a new section to their magazine, the stymie shot, taught by Gary McCord, one of our greatest players, who hits every shot like it's a stymie. Hello, Gary.
Hi, drummer.
I'm Bob Drum.
Right now, an opportunity to visit with Byron Nelson. Remember, he won 11 consecutive tournaments. That record will never be broken. But Lord Byron has some other records, too.
The Varden Trophy is, of course, most people know what the Varden Trophy was. Well, I didn't win the Varden Trophy in the year that I shot the 68.3 because they didn't give it that year. They gave the Radix Trophy. That was a man by the name of Harry Radix, because there was still enough in the war years that they didn't give the Varden Trophy. Well, I did win the Varden Trophy one year with 69.67. I won the Varden Trophy. So I won the Varden Trophy in 1939, I guess it was. I won the Varden Trophy. And but that year, the funny thing happened about that year. I knew what I shot per tournament and so forth. And Bill English, who's a very fine statistical golf writer in the Daily Oklahoma newspaper in Oklahoma City. And he has more records available than anybody I've ever seen. And he's always sending me information about something I did years ago. And he sent me the information of what I scored, the average, the first round, second round, third round, and fourth round for that year. And of course I was playing well, and this lowest score average I had for the year was the last round. I averaged 67.45 for the fourth round in all those tournaments that year. So when you're playing real well and in the lead or leading and you shoot 67.45 the last round, you're going to win most of the time, even today. Well, I set out as my goal to win every important tournament in the United States at least once. And fortunately, I did that. In my time, I won I won the North and South, I won the Met Open, I won the LA Open, San Francisco, Dallas, and Fort Worth, and San Antonio, Texas Open. I won all, Miami, I won all the important tournaments, plus 2 Masters, 2 PGAs, and 1 Open. But I threw a couple tournaments away that were just ridiculous, really. I guess that when you throw a tournament away, you do feel it's kind of ridiculous, but I don't have I have no regrets about the way I played or how I played, though, because I played hard, because finishing in the money 113 consecutive tournaments showed me something now that I never thought about then, was the fact that my game was good, steady, and that also I never quit. I mean, I kept on trying all the time. If I got mad or anything, I didn't let it bother me, didn't get upset, because finishing that many times the money, which is still the record, is, I think, one of the most important things I ever did, because I ate every week.
We like to help your golf game, and right now it's time for another one of our segments from the Legends of Golf.
Doug, a lot of confusion in people's mind about the right hand. When do you use it? Is it a right-handed game? Is it a left-handed game?
Well, I definitely think it's a right-handed game, and I think proof of the pudding is in the younger players today, how much longer they are. I can talk about all the technical improvements, but I think that they've become right-handed players, definitely. When we started, we were told to be left-handed players, and the left hand brings it down into position so you can apply the right hand and square the blade to the ball.
At the top of the downswing, you make a lateral move to the left and pull the club head down without uncocking the wrists. As you sweep the club head into the hitting area, the right hand comes into play, delivering the power. The left hand leads, but it never breaks down. At impact, the hands are released and the club head is squared. The right palm is now facing the target as it was at address, adding power to the swing. When you release the hands, you release the whole right side. This adds the final touch of power to your swing. You'll now finish fully turned to the left and balanced on the left foot.
You know, I noticed when you were hitting the ball with the full swing and a lot of speed that it was arm speed that did the job. It didn't even look like you were using your hands.
No, the hands use an unconscious movement at impact. You're never conscious of your hands. You're more conscious of the arc in your arms creating that arc.
In other words, to produce power, you don't want to use those hands and hit at the ball. You want to use the big muscles and swing with the arms, with a sweeping action.
If you just use hands, you're using 1/10 of your power.
All the great players seem to chase that ball with the right hip and the right shoulder all the way through that ball.
You're right. They all do. They get that right hip through the shot, facing the target, and the same with the right shoulder. Everything is squared to their finish. They get their power and they chase that ball right to the hole.
Let's take a look at 4 legends who really chased that ball with the right side.
These 4 players, Littler, January, Thompson, and Crampton, all have exceptionally fine finishes. The right hip keeps turning through the end of the follow-through, adding power to the swing. A commercial coming up, then Gil Morgan will help your golf game, and we'll learn about some new equipment. Right now, this time out.
Imagine 10 miles of